Hello everyone, and welcome to my first episode for the new series of Dominions 4, where we will be playing as the Jomon race, which is a late age race based on Japanese culture. And as you can see on the top right here, these are the mods I'm going to be using for this playthrough. I actually enabled them about halfway through my Agartha campaign, and I think they even worked. I thought that you would have to have a new game, but I was noticing that well, let's go over this. The AI no recruit. The goal of that is to have the NPC armies, the AI armies, to recruit only their core units and not rely on heavy infantry, bear tribe warriors, and so on and so forth. So that's the point of that mod, to have more actual core armies out there. The Demi-Lich mod replaces the little picture of the Demi-Lich, which is a skull and crossbones basically, with the picture that you see right there. Joe's Spellkiller mod takes away some of the more useless and kind of like throwaway spells from being casted in battles, so that's pretty cool. And then We're the Heroes adds a whole new bunch of heroes for most, if not all, of the races of this game. So those are the mods that I'm going to be using for this playthrough. So let's create a new game. I'm going to be playing on the Ura Parand map, 10 to 14 players. I'm going to click OK. And as you can tell by the title of this, we're going to be playing as a Jomon, as I said in the beginning. So they are a late age race. Going to add, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do 11. And I'm not going to have a disciple game this time. All my playthroughs have been with the disciple mode, but this time it's just going to be every god for itself, basically. So I'm going to click on here. I'm going to check the Jomon race, and I guess just leave everything else up to random. I'm going to click OK. So, the Jomon race, the human daimyos. The rice fields of Jomon were the first to be attacked by the Bakemono onslaught. After years of slavery and mistreatment, the human inhabitants rebelled as the Bakemono had once rebelled against their Oni masters. So, really quick, if you don't know, the Jomon in the early age are run by the Oni, which are basically like Japanese demons. In the Middle Ages, they're run by the Bakemono, which are like goblins and ogres, kind of. And then in the Late Age, the humans rise up against the Bakemono. And now, one by one, the Bakemono tribes were replaced by human daimyos and their sworn warriors. A strict feudal warrior society replaced the disorganized rule of the Bakemono kings. Even war has become ritualized, and peasants are left largely in peace. With the coming of the god, the daimyos have joined forces and look for other realms to conquer. The race is humans, because they have kicked out all the Bakemonos and the Oni. The military, we have light infantry, samurai archers, samurai infantry, cavalry, and ninja assassins. Their magic is pretty weak. They have some astral, earth, natural, fire, air, and water, but I don't believe they have anybody that's really strong in one of them. I don't think, but we'll go over that in a bit. And their priests are average. Okay, so for this series, I'm going to do something I haven't really done before, and that is build for our sacred troops. So I'm going to click here. I've already kind of planned this out before. I'm going to use the Master Enchanter. I'm going to get our magic up to 4 in fire, 4 in water, and then 9, yes, 9 in nature. So the 4 in fire gives us attack skill +2, the 4 in water gives us defense skill +2, and the 9 in nature gives all of our sacred units, when they're blessed, 8 additional HP and regeneration. I'm also going to go with a 6 in Dominion, because that's what I typically like to play with, is at least 6. We're going to have an imprisoned god for this, and there you go. We're not going to adjust the scales at all. I kind of played around with maybe, you know, doing, what is it? Drain, yes, Drain 3, and then maybe giving us some more scales somewhere else, but I don't really like Drain. I'm going to need the magic, because my goal in this, again, is the Sacred Troops. Well, you know what? Let's just jump into the game. Let me do OK, and then I'll go over what my goal is, and why I chose these magic paths. Enter the name of your god. Well, my god's not going to be too important until, well, not in the beginning of the game anyway. Obviously, he's going to be pretty powerful nature mage when he comes out. Do we just go with tokshen as I usually do? We probably should. So tokshen was once just a spirit that inhabited a marble statue, or a obsidian statue, something like that, in my last game, and now the spirit went to a man, I guess. All praise tokshen. Alright, so for this, I'm going to increase the special sight frequency to 40. I'm going to actually enable the score graphs because I do want to see those. We're going to increase the Hall of Fame entries to 15. And we are going to be playing a Thrones of Ascension game, so let me do the Ascension points up to, I like 10. Let's do 8 of those, 3 of those, and 1 level 3. Does that work? Do I like this? So even if you have all level... Yeah, I like this. With as many players as there's going to be, I think this is going to work. So we're going to go with 10 thrones. Okay. Renaming is going to be allowed, so I might as well say up front that, as in all my other Dominion games, if you want to have a commander named after you, let me know, and I will rename them, or rename somebody. Alright, so click OK. Creating the world. Let's see where we start. This is going to be really different because ever since Dominions 4 came out, I've been playing basically only Disciple games. So now it's just me. And we are there. Oh, whoops. Okay. There we are again. Any thrones by us that we can grab? Let's see, we have one down there. One on this little island. Interesting. Okay. So the only way to get there is probably going to be in the winter season. And then hopefully this will freeze over and we can kind of walk over there and claim that maybe. And then a couple thrones up there. I'm just trying to decide where I should focus. Do I go down and try to claim this little continent right there, or this little island? That could probably be okay. And then have a fort right there. Well, first things first, I'm probably going to want to conquer the provinces around my castle to help it with its production and resource values. So, going over why I picked what I picked for my caster. Let's go into the recruit units. And I'll go over all these units as I usually do, but I wanted to start off with the Yamabushi. The Yamabushi is a sacred unit. It has a Naginata, which is a length 4 and 21 damage slashing. That is a lot of damage for just a normal unit. And its attack skill natively is 14, defense skill is 12. So with our blessing, this becomes a 16 attack skill and a 14 defense skill. They will get 19 hit points with regeneration, so that means every single round they will regenerate 2 hit points that they are missing. So the whole goal of this is that since they have a Naginata that has a lot of damage, I am going to rely heavily on, where is it listed? Should be under length, right? Yeah, it's right here. So the whole repel mechanic of this game. How repel works really quick is that when the enemy attacks you, you will use your attack skill against the enemy's defensive skill. Also, you need to have a longer weapon. So the whole goal here is to have our Yamabushis be able to repel most of the attacks since they have a length 4 weapon, which is pretty long. And if the repel fails, they would still have a high defensive skill to also try to just kind of dodge out of the way. And then if all else fails, they have a high hit point pool sitting at 19 to kind of soak up a hit and then regenerate it. So we're going to definitely be focusing on these Yamabushis. We also have another sacred unit, the Sohei. And the real big difference is that they have a 12 attack skill instead of 14, but they come with a 15 morale, whereas the Yamabushi come with an 11 morale. And do they both have mountain survival? No. I guess these guys also have mountain survival. So really, I think these guys are still better. The morale you can modify with magic items and blessings and sermons of courage and such. So I'm not too worried about these guys ever breaking. So this is going to be our main unit for this game, is the Yamabushi. Another very cool unit that we have access to, not right away, but we can, is going to be, I think, in the Conjuration Tree. Yes, right here, the Karasu Tengus. The Karasu Tengu is a sacred being of the wild and the winds. It has the appearance of a man with the head, wings, and feet of a crow. It is a mischievous being and often harasses humans who dare pass beneath its nest. Tengus are masters of swordsmanship, and legends tell of heroes who have been trained by Tengu sword masters. All Tengu have power over the winds and weather and can fly during storms and unleash lightning upon their enemies. So not only do we have a really cool sacred unit in the Yamabushis, but these Tengus, the Karasu Tengus, the Konoha Tengus, which are just kind of upgraded versions of these guys. I've played a practice game. I'm trying to remember the difference. I can't remember offhand. But these guys are better. And are there more Tengus later? Dai Tengu. And I think that's a caster. And I don't see any more Tengus. So the Tengus are also sacred units, meaning that when we bless them, they're going to be affected by the attack, defensive skill buff, and the HP and regeneration. And the cool thing is that the Yamabushi unit is obviously, you know, a land-based unit. It cannot fly, so those are going to be our frontline fighters, but the Tengus can fly. So I'm probably going to have them hold back and attack, you know, a couple rounds after combat starts. They're going to fly over the enemy army to the backside and take out the archers, the commanders, and they're pretty kick-ass, if I remember correctly. Natively, they're pretty cool, but with the blessing of regeneration, increased hit points, attack and defensive skill, they're going to be monsters. So we're going to have sacred units flying over the enemy armies, taking out the backside, while these sacred units, the Yamabushi, are going to be attacking the front side and hopefully dominating. So that's the whole strategy with my setup for the magic, why I did it that way, is to focus heavily on a blessing and sacred troop army. So, with that being said, I'm going to kind of throw in a little bit of role-playing and say that we're probably not going to research and cast any of these, like, demons, because I want to kind of keep this more holy, and I don't really view demons as holy, and I think the Awa Oni are demons. I think these are, like, undead or something? I can't remember. Some of them are, like, water-based demons, some of them are, like, undead. But we're probably not going to be casting any Onis, because those are all kind of demons, and we don't want to bring demons back into the world of the Jomon state. We just want to contact the Tengus, and maybe there is another one, like the water-based guys. What are they called? Are they at the very top? Kappa. Yeah, these are like little turtle guys that can go into the water. So if we ever need to invade a water province, I may summon some of these Kappas. So Kappas and Tengus are going to be mostly what I stick to, and then maybe some other stuff down here. Probably not a Ghost General, because that's kind of unholy, I would think. So I'm kind of trying to stick with the holy theme. So that is the plan. So with that being said, let's quickly go over some of the units that the Jomon have. We have the basic Ashigaru with a length 5 Yari, 14 damage, 10 attack skill, which is average, 9 defensive skill, which is below average hit points, 12 protection is okay, but this is the late age, so a lot of units have typically a lot higher protection than they do in the middle and early ages, so 12 is still kind of low. So that's a very basic unit, it's your peasant guy. We have a Samurai Archer, which is a pretty kick-ass unit, because they have this longbow with a range of 40 and 11 precision, but if they get in close, they still do have a katana, they have 15 protection and average attack and defensive skills, so this is a unit that can fire bows and then also still fight in melee. So what that means is that if the enemy has flying troops and they, you know, fly over our army to try to hit our archers are still kind of badass. So the Samurai Archers are really cool. Then we have the basic Samurai with a Naginata, like our sacred troops, but we probably won't be using too many of these guys because, well, we can't bless them. But still, they have a 15 protection, which is pretty good, and 10 and 10 in the attack and defensive skill, again with only 9 hit points, though. So that's really low. We have a Samurai with a Katana, basically the same stats. I think he has a higher, one higher defensive skill, but other than that, they're basically the same as the Naginata. Let's see, then we go into the Oban, the Great Guard are heavily armed elite samurai. They also come with katanas. They have a 17 in protection, which is pretty high. I mean, that's like cavalry kind of protection right there. They have a 12 in attack skill, which is way above average. 11 hit points, 11 defensive skill. These guys are pretty heavy duty. I like that. Next, we have the Go Hatamoto. Nice. Okay, so this is a bodyguard unit. Go Hatamotos are high-ranking samurai who have given up temporal power to serve their daimyo as bodyguards. They wield great field swords and don heavy samurai armor. So they have the Nodachi, which is a two-handed armor, or two-handed weapon, with a length of 3. So there's a lot of weapons that this thing could possibly repel as well, so that's kind of cool. Also has a 17 strength, protection, 11 hit points, 13 attack skill, which is really high, and could also help with the repelling if they're attacking units with, shorter weapons. And also, of course, the bodyguard, which is also pretty sweet, and a 13 base morale, which is pretty high. So that's cool. I like them. Aka Oni Samurai. Ooh. Okay. In the siege of the sacred city, the besieging forces summoned red devils to break down the walls and ravage the city. A company of samurai led by Hashi Saburo painted their armor red and snuck out during the night and butchered the sorcerers summoning the devils. The besieging forces thought that the devils had turned on their masters and were swiftly routed. The cavalry of the city was released, and the besieging army was butchered to the last man. After this feat, Hashi's company took the name of the Red Devils. They are among the most well-known and feared of the units at Jomon's disposal. Wow, that's pretty cool. So stat-wise, they have a 14 base morale, which is huge, 13 attack and defensive skills, which again, huge, 11 hit points and 15 protect. Yeah, that's, wow. Let me kind of compare some of the golden resources. So those are 1522, 1226. I'm going to say right now, I'm probably... Oh, but these guys have a lower protection. 2 lower protection. Still, though, the 14 morale, these guys only have... that's 13. Attack skill 12, defense 11. I think these are 13s. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is a better unit. I'll probably recruit these guys over the Obons. Then we get to our 1 cavalry unit, the Samurai Cavalry. 17 protection, 14 defensive skill, 12 attack, and 2 attacks. He has a light lance and a katana. Okay. 14 morale. Okay, that's a basic cavalry, I guess. Kind of surprised. A lot of the cavalry in this game get a hoof attack from the horse. Interesting that these guys don't. But, okay. And then we've already went over the sacred units. For our leaders, we have our basic ninja here, which is our scout slash assassin. I may kite one of these guys out with some items and send them out on assassinating duties, I guess. But we'll see. We have our basic samurai commander, the Gokinen. Has a katana, high protection. These stats really don't matter. 60 in leadership with 0 to squad morale, so very basic guy. We have the mounted Gokinen. Same leadership, higher defensive skill. He is a cavalry guy. Okay. I would probably prefer to use him over this guy. Hatamoto. Let's see, 12 hit points, 14 defense, 12 attack. Leadership of 80 with +1 for 3 squads, so okay, I like it. And then we have our daimyos. These are our big leaders here. Leadership 120, +2 morale for up to 4 squads. Yeah, that's the heavy-duty guy. Stat-wise, 15 defensive skill, 13 attack skill, which is pretty good. 17 protection, again, also pretty good. Morale of 15. Okay, I like it. And then it looks like we get into our casters. We have a Kanushi? Let's see, priest level 2, but has a 10% chance of gaining one of those in levels there. 10%. That's really low. Also suffers from old age. And if you remember from our Gartha campaign, old age is bad. Old age eventually leads to dementia and disease and death. And there's really nothing you can do to stop it. But they are a level 2 priest. I guess that's okay. Leadership of 10. Can they lead magic or undead? They cannot, so... Here we go. A level 1 priest. Who can also... has a 100% chance of also getting magic. That's cool. Can also research. Can't lead anybody. How much does this cost compared to this guy? They're the same. So the priest level 2, I think that unlocks the Sermon of Courage spell. And I think there's one other, maybe Smite Demon spell. And that would be the only reason I think why I would want to choose a Kanushi over this Monk of the Fivefold Path. This is probably going to be my basic... I mean, other than, obviously, that is level 2 also helps with preaching against enemy dominion and stuff like that. But still, I don't like the old age stuff. I do not like old age at all. A Shugenja? This is our basic caster. Doesn't need to eat. They get a 100% chance at another level of one of those. And they are base earth. Okay, research of 9. 95 gold. And they can lead up to 5 magical beings. Okay. Basic casters, not bad. Let's see. Master Shugensha. Whew. That's nice. Okay, I thought this guy was going to suffer from old age because, well, he has the beard. But supply bonus because he is a nature mage, level 1 earth mage, and has 2 additional levels, plus a 10% chance to get a third one. Okay, so what I'm looking for, real quick, let me just remind myself here. For conjuration for the Tengus, we need nature and air. And these guys need air and earth. Okay. Nature, earth, and air. I believe these guys can get all 3. They have the nature and the earth, so that's one of the Tengus right there. And they do have the chance for air. Okay, so we're going to be wanting these guys as well. Then we have an Onmyo-ji. Oops. Onmyo-ji is a Fortune Teller 5, so it can prevent bad events. That's pretty cool. Mountain Survival, level 2 Astral Mage, so this is where we're going to be getting our Astrals from. And also has 2 additional levels in all of those paths, and a 10% chance for that. And it looks like this thing comes with a Shikigami. Looks just like a bird, I guess. But also can lead 20 magical beings. So I really want this guy if I need an Astral Mage. Which can't hurt. I'm trying to think if I need one really soon. I probably don't need one. Okay, well, anyway, sorry, I started thinking to myself. So that is our army. That's all the units available to us. So I'm going to start by recruiting the unit that we're going to be recruiting, hopefully for the entire game. And then for a leader... Okay, so I have a decision. I can either make this guy a prophet right now, or I just wait and summon like a daimyo and make him a prophet a turn later. Probably would do that instead. So we'll recruit a daimyo. They are not slow to recruit, so we'll get that next turn. Unfortunately, we're only going to get 2 Yamabushis, but that's okay. We will send our assassin, our ninja. I think I want to send him down here because I think I want to try and control this island. So let's send him right over there. As far as our starting army, it looks like we get 15 Ashigaru and 10 of those samurai. But I don't want to move out anywhere because I do not know the strength of the enemies around us. So we are researching conjuration, though we have nobody who can research. Let's end our turn. Do I want to do that? Oh, I guess I can look at the actual other pretenders real quick. Okay, so we have Pythium. Oh, man. Oh, Lemuria. Oh, no. I hope I'm not next to Lemuria. So Lemuria, their dominion, summons ghosts and shadows and kills population. If I am next to Lemuria, I need to get temples, I need to get priests, and need to make sure that their dominion does not overpower my provinces. These guys are nasty. Like, their entire army are spirits. So I need magical weapons if I fight against those guys. I don't think the Tengu's weapons are magical. But Tengus can throw lightning, so that may be an option. And I'm sure there's a spell out there that can make our weapons magical, but I'll have to look at that. So we've got Lemuria, we have Marignon. I don't really know much about Late Age Marignon. They have heavy infantry, crossbows, and knights. Okay, and inquisitors. Micklin. Powerful priest that can perform blood sacrifices. Dominion does not spread unless blood is sacrificed. Does their dominion also kill people? I'm not exactly sure. Micklin, huh? Let's see. We also have Tianqi, the Barbarian Kings. Okay. There's me. And... Agartha. Late Age Agartha. Humans with limited dark vision, extra golden resources, and cave forts. They have light and heavy infantry, steel crossbows. They actually have crossbows now in the Late Age. And Cave Drake Knights. I wonder if did they not have any more Pale Ones? The mummified remains of the now extinct Pale Ones are worshipped and reanimated by necromancer priests. They don't even have Pale Ones in Late Age anymore. Oh shit. That sucks for them. We have Abyssia, which are like the fire guys with, I think, like heavy infantry. Satis. Okay, well, there was actually there was a multiplayer game with me and Marcus Aurelius, and I played Late Age Satis. They're pretty cool. I liked my time with them. I was almost going to do a playthrough with them when I started up my Agartha campaign instead. Pangea, another race that I would like to play, Late Age Pangea. and Atlantis, which I hear is actually really good in the late age. So I'm kind of curious to see how good they are. So those are our enemies. And I guess I've been talking long enough, so I'm going to end the video here. Again, let me know if you want to have a commander named after you. Just to let you know, I'm probably going to record a couple more episodes. So by the time you watch this and tell me that you want a commander, I may be on episode 3 or 4. So if you don't see your name until then, you know, just know now. So thanks for watching this episode, everybody. I hope you're excited to see the Jomon in action with our Sacred Troop strategy. I hope it works out, obviously. And I will see you all in the next episode. Take care, everyone.